Hey, it's Coach Sarah, and today I'm going to be going over the walk when it comes to your posing. So, with this being said, the most important things to note is that this tends to get overlooked with your individual routine, and it's not practiced as much, which is understandable, but it's also something that you want to practice as well. So, when we're doing the walk, first things first is that we don't want any, crazy arm movements as we're walking, and you should be standing nice and tall. No slouching over, no like crazy lean back. Think of a string going through you and keeping you nice and tall, chest up. So, with that being said, when we're walking, I like to think of it opposite arm, opposite foot. So if we're doing, left arm right, right arm, left foot, same thing on the opposite side. And when we're walking, make sure that we are, not just hitting our heels down on the ground. It's more of a, gentle walk as if you would in tennis shoes, right? So with that being said, first practice the opposite hand, opposite foot. So we're gonna practice that. No crazy arm movements, but keeping the chest nice and tall, core nice and tight. Next thing is we're gonna add a little bit more movement with the shoulders and with the hips. So I'm gonna slightly step my foot in front of the opposite one. If you want to, you could tape, put a piece of tape down and use that as like your guideline, if you will, in practice. But we're going to add a little bit more movement with the hips and with that. So when I'm taking a step forward, I'm also twisting my hip to that side, right? And my hands are gonna stay kind of tight, but we're going to go into it this way and taking it nice and slow. So I'm feeling a little edgy right now, right? It doesn't flow quite as well, but that's why it takes practice. So when we're doing this and starting to get it to flow a little bit better, you're gonna be able to obviously go with the flow, and it'll feel more natural as you practice. Next thing is, other than just practicing forward, you want to make sure that you're practicing from coming in from the side of the stage. You may or may not be on either side, depends on the show. So you want to keep your eyes on the judges the entire time as you are walking. So even if you're coming from the side, keep your eyes on the judges. So other than that, keep on practicing, making sure that you're, keeping it nice and tight, but also adding a little bit of movement. Nothing crazy, no bounces up and down. We don't want, one of these, but it should flow, it should feel effortless, and you should feel confident in that package, because that is your first impression to the judges, is when you walk out on stage. So make it count and keep practicing.